A Fox News alert overnight, the terror group ISIS reportedly releasing a new video claiming the beheading of U.S. aid worker Peter Kassig.
The video, which has not yet been verified, also reportedly issues a direct threat to President Obama, the mass terrorist in the film, saying ISIS will take the fight to the streets of the United States. Is ISIS a threat to us here in the homeland? Joining us now, retired Navy SEAL and the author of The Last Rescue, Howard Wasdin. Mr. Wasdin, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. So,
good morning.
Should we take this threat from ISIS seriously here in the United States?
Oh, wow. If we don't start taking something seriously, I'm really worried for our country. Let me go back for a second. First of all, my thoughts and prayers to the Kassig family, a real hero, former Army Ranger and aid worker. He's the best of what we have to offer. And it's a shame that it's a sacrifice made in vain due to our country and our administration's inability or unwillingness to do what is needed to combat this. Here is my question. When the pictures from Abu Ghraib surfaced, when the waterboarding technique, the enhanced interrogation surfaced, all the liberals in this country, the liberal media was on that so big, and there was outcry, and everybody was so upset. Why is this media, why is the liberal media, why are the people in America not upset when we got Americans getting their heads cut off? We got terrorists cutting off Americans' heads, and it barely gets a blip on the radar. If we don't start taking these guys seriously, if we don't start doing what's necessary to combat terrorism, and I can discuss that, if we don't start doing what's necessary, you better believe it's coming to America. And then the Hillary Clintons of the world, who are so accustomed to going, what difference does it make? It's going to make a real difference when it's here on our grounds.
100%. What do we need to do differently?
Well, first of all, we've got to inhibit recruiting. I've said this many times. If we don't get the terrorists to where they can't recruit fresh blood, we're never going to defeat them. Here's what you don't do. You don't capture them, bring them to America, bring them and feed them better than our troops, and then let them lawyer up. We bring terrorists to America and give them due process. As an American, I still can't believe when I hear this. What we've got to do is make it so unsavory, so terrible for them to not even be able to recruit that they're thinking that, hey, if we do volunteer, guess what? Somebody like this Rob O'Neill guy who killed Osama bin Laden is never going to stop until they kill us. No thank you, we'll give it a pass. Instead of, oh, come here, we'll take you into our warm embrace in America, find you some slick attorney, and possibly get you off of these charges.
As someone who served overseas in defense of this country, how do you feel watching what's happening in Iraq? ISIS sweeping through Anbar, threatening Baghdad itself.
See, and there's the other question. Why didn't we know about ISIS before? And the answer is the same. Because we took away the enhanced interrogation, we took away our human intelligence gathering capabilities, and then we were taken by surprise when these idiots blitzkrieg and retake a lot of what our troops have fought and died for. Got caught with our pants down again, and it's just the same old thing over and over and over. Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan. We fight for something, gain a foothold, and then we give it up because we don't have the people in place to tell us what's really going on the ground, and it's our own fault.
And Howard, you're right. We are misinformed. No one really knew about ISIS until we saw the video of the first beheading. It was a little too late. That family is suffering, and now other families are suffering, and our country is at risk. What about the airstrikes? Are we doing enough there?
Well, I can't speak firsthand. I know the way the airstrikes are designed and the way they can target now, they're extremely effective. My question is, why didn't, before they got a foothold, when they were still in the middle of their blitzkrieg, when they were still taking ground, why didn't we go in and stop them then? And why aren't we doing that now? Honestly, maybe the airstrikes are having an effect, but the longer we wait to put troops on the ground, in my opinion, the longer we wait to go in and totally crush them, the more of these types, unfortunately, of these types of videos we're going to have. And the more recruiting power these people have. We've got to decimate them. We've got to annihilate them 100% because, like you said earlier, they are evil. We have got to totally wipe out the evil.
So the president has said, and his advisors have said, look, rather than doing that, rather than sending lots of ground troops, we have some, as you know, but rather than sending them in force, we're going to train up or continue to train the Syrian opposition and the Iraqi army. Is that adequate? Will that ever work?
Great. They did a great job of stopping them the first time, didn't they? No. Of course that's not adequate. That's political, speaking out one side of your mouth, trying to keep some people happy while not committing to being all in. Listen, it is a war on terrorism. And America, what are you willing to do? To defeat this evil, we've got to be all in, or let's just pull all out, man up around our borders, make our borders safe, keep all of our Americans inside, live as an isolated country, and protect ourselves. We've got to be all in on this fight. That means going in, killing all these guys, and again, making recruiting so unpalatable that nobody ever wants to lift a finger to be a terrorist or to touch the hair on another American head.